Welcome to Geared to Live, a weekly TV show brought to you by Choose Life International and the kindness of MTM TV. We are in the month of August and it's big celebrations going on. Congratulations to Jamaica on her 60th year of independence. With little but with Talawa, we have persons in every sphere of life making significant impact internationally. I am Dr. Donovan Thomas, President and founder of Choose Life International, and it is my delight to be your host once more. In studio with me is my special guest today, Mrs. Lashawndla Bailey Miller. Call her teacher, you are correct. Call her mother, you are correct. Call her wife, you're correct. Call her international businesswoman, and you are correct. Lashawndla, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
It is such a delight to have you today.
My
You
pleasure.
you grew up in rural Jamaica.
Mhm.
Talk to us a little bit about your childhood.
Well, I grew up in Seaport St. Thomas, an extended family headed by my paternal grandmother. Growing up with your grandmother, cousins, auntie, uncle, you go to school, you go to Sunday school, you go to church, and the whole works. And went to Seaport High School, actually. Did 5 years there. We never had sixth form. Um, was a part of student leadership, was a part of the student council, did that for 2 years being the president. So I was very active in school life. And then after that, I basically left
And went on to college.
and went on to college. So
And you
I
are a proud graduate of the Michael University.
two-time graduate.
Wow. Yeah, tell us about that.
Right. So I did at the time when I attended, they didn't have a degree program, so I did the diploma program, and I studied for 3 years, secondary education, and I majored in social studies and remedial reading. Moved on to teach at St. Mary's College, and spent 10 years in the classroom until it was time to say bye.
Yeah. So you took time out from teaching after 10 years. Talk to me a little bit about what triggered that.
Uh, I've always had an issue with depression from I was in high school, and it was something that it was actually looking back. I realized that that's what was happening to me. So fast forward to the latter years in teaching when I started, going to the doctor to figure out what was wrong with me. That's when I realized that at that point I was severely depressed.
What were some of those signs that caused you concern?
I remember one year early on in teaching, the school nurse gave out some forms
Yes.
to the teachers, and it was a form to basically a checklist to see if you are depressed. And I basically checked off everything on the list. Like, yes, 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 I have experienced this. I am experiencing this, but I never paid it any mind after that.
Some of those signs would be probably eating too much or eating too
Um,
little, sleeping too much,
it was
sleeping too
probably
little, withdrawal
losing
from friends and
interest. So
family and
for
friends.
me, so
Yeah.
if we talk about what I was experiencing, withdrawal, it was losing interest in a whole lot of things that I'm supposed to be interested in. Uh, it had gotten to the point where even showering was a problem for me. Couldn't sleep. Like I would be up like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, can't sleep, and then have to get up for work the next morning, and that's when I want to sleep. Not wanting to go to work was another one, and just constantly being absent from work
Right.
was something
So,
else
so
that
I
was a
want
problem.
you to know that it is not just that the picnic them lazy. It may be that they're dealing with some depression there, and we want to help them to get the checks that they need so that they're properly diagnosed, that they can get the help. Choose Life International believes in the biopsychosocial spiritual model of intervention. There's a place for medication, there's a place for counseling, there's a place for social intervention, and of course, there's a place for spiritual intervention. And we invite you to go to our website. Check out our website, www.chooselifeintl.org. Connect with us so that we can help you to help those children that may be going through difficulties. We provide counseling service to families, to individuals, to organizations, yes, in the business community, in the education sector, and otherwise. And right now, we are preparing for the World Suicide Prevention Day webinar that is due to take place on September 9th. September 10th is World Suicide Prevention Day, which will be a Saturday this year, but the online seminar will be on the Friday. And we want to invite all of you from all of your countries to plan to be with us. It's online, and we want to ask you to register. The information will be shared with you on screen, and we ask you to connect with us. Again, if you want personal contact with me, you may contact me at the number on the screen. My WhatsApp number, 869, that is the area code is 876-869-3403. My guest today, Lashawndla Bailey Miller. Welcome again. It's so great to have you.
It's a pleasure being here.
How did you get in touch with Choose Life International?
Choose Life International. All right. So while at St. Mary's College, the guidance counselor there was also my 3 years roommate at Michael.
Yes.
She was always trying to find help for the students. So she had already connected with you guys, with Choose Life International. And she was the person who mentioned the Choose Life to me. It wasn't from me asking for help, but like talking about things that she was doing for the students. And then when I realized that I needed help, I went to her and I said, "What's that name of that place that you told me about?" Because Choose Life to me, the name ring a bell, and I was at the point where I needed to make a decision. I needed to choose life or
Yes,
not, because
yes.
at this point I was really leading towards the other side. And
So one of the signs of depression is that sometimes people feel suicidal. Did you ever experience that?
many times, and um, actually this started again in high school, but there was always some intervention, as in something supernatural happened. It's like God sent somebody and said, "It's not your time yet." Literally sent somebody.
Really? You came to Choose Life International. You realized that you needed help. Here's a young lady who was honest with herself. She said, you know what, it can't be business as usual. She recognized that there were some things going on with her, and she came to Choose Life International. Talk to me about what that experience was like for you.
All right, so who I actually got to Choose Life International, it was my husband who actually made the appointment and took me there when he realized that, look here, this looked like something I've seen before and I know where this can lead. So let me take her there. But fast forward to how we got in touch with Choose Life International. So the first contact was not for
Counseling.
counseling, right? It was after recovering from one of my episodes and decided I wanted to do something with my life, and I wanted to partner with Choose Life International because they are doing something to help people who have been somewhere that I have been. And that's how we made the initial connection that we were working together. And then I had that moment, and my husband decided that this year we're going to choose life.
Right. So you were depressed, and as I understand it, you started as a means of coping, twisting and bending wires and little
Right,
kind of stuff like that. And
right.
then it became a business. And then you said, you know what? I want to invest in the lives of hurting people. And this young lady and her husband decided that they would sponsor sessions. They said, we want to pour into people who cannot afford counseling sessions. And we are so grateful for the support. You said you had an episode. What was that like?
It was one of those moments when you just started crying, probably for no reason at all. Um, sitting in a corner and sitting in a corner on the floor, not wanting to talk to anybody. But then when you really look back or try to do some introspection, you will realize that it was actually triggered. Something, some conversation, something actually triggered that episode. So over time, I have come to realize that there are triggers for my depression from whatever I'm suffering from.
Right. Tell us now how you started that twisting of wires and so forth.
Alright, so jewelry making for me actually started out with beading while I was at Michael. Went to a classmate's room because she was an industrialist. She also did fingernails. So I was getting my nails done for the first time. So I went to her room. But when I went to her room to get the nails done, she was actually doing something and she was making jewelry. And I was really fascinated, by how she manipulated her pliers. And I'm like, yeah, she's able to end off the necklaces in ways that I didn't know how to. And where did she get all the material from? And so, she directed me where to get the beads, where to get tools, and I started making jewelry by beading. And I remember one of my classmates, and she was also my unit mate, she said to me, I said, oh, come they never buy none of my jewelry them yet. And she said to me, I'll never forget, she said, them have one cheap look. I said to myself, okay, then maybe I need to do something else with it. And I started moving on to stones. And I started, try to bunch the stones to make little pendants and all of that stuff. And up to this day, every time I'm making something, her voice is in my head. So I don't ever want my jewelry to have a cheap look again.
Yes.
So that's how I started at Michael making jewelry. That's when I started teaching. I started selling to my co-workers, but it was still bead. It was when I gave up teaching. A friend of mine gave me some copper wires. I didn't know what to do with them. At that time, I wasn't using wires. And I remember one day, I was preparing for a trade show and I was like, what am I going to do with these wires? And I started bending the wires and I liked how they look. And I went to my show and my table was empty. And I went home and I made more stuff. And then the next day, my table was empty because it was a 2 day show.
People bought the thing.
Yes, people bought them. And, that gave me some amount of confidence. So I started upgrading my skill. I started watching YouTube and then I wanted to move on from the wires. I wanted to learn how to connect the wires now without wrapping them. I wanted to solder. So I started seeking out other persons for help and I got some training.
All right, great. But you were twisting those wires when you're going through those times of depression and just bending and twisting as a means of just coping in your difficult time.
As a means of coping. So even today, making jewelry for me, so whatever I'm doing in jewelry, it actually creates some sort of soothing effect. So if I'm creating pattern in my sheet metal these days with my hammer, then just banging on the hammer and the metal with the hammer creates something, does something for me, kind of take you, to a different place. But how jewelry and saving lives, made that merger
Yes.
was in the search for hope. It was still during my last episode because by this time I was not doing wires. When I was going through that major episode, it was in 2015, the early part of 2015, latter 2014 to early 2015. And I started searching for purpose because I had to find a reason to go on living.
Yes.
I was at that place where I said to myself, look here, I need to know why I'm going to hang around or else I'm going to exit. I felt like I was just existing. My life felt like it had no meaning and I was searching for purpose. And I used to pray in the night and I used to ask God for answers. And one thing I did, I listened because
Yes.
there's no reason, there's no, what I want to say now, there's no point in asking for answers or asking questions if you're not going to listen out for the
Reasonable.
answers. And you know, at one point I started thinking, all right, I'm going to buy a nice thick sticky notepad and just write inspirational notes and just hand it out randomly to people, because there are a lot of people out there going through what I'm going through. And you
Right.
will never know. So I'll just encourage them and know that I look stupid. I don't want to just do it like that. And then something said to me, you love jewelry and you want to give out inspirational notes. So why not do inspiration on jewelry? And that's how I came up with the idea of the inspirational messages on the jewelry. But at that time, I didn't know how to get them on the jewelry.
Wow. What a journey. Right now on the screen, you'll find some of those jewelry that is made by Inspire 365. Right here with me today is the founder and manager and inspiration between Inspire 365. So your jewelries have gone different parts of the world now. You're doing
Yes.
various things, inspirational messages. What are some of those inspirational messages and some of those necklaces?
But mainly the bracelets, it would be like, still I rise. God is within her, she will not fail. You'll find things like nothing can stop you. I am limitless, or you're your only limit. Enjoy the journey. Uh, I remember at one point I had stars can't shine without darkness. These are the things that really give people hope and help them to move on.
Creative out of our own challenges. It's now business. So you have impacted Jamaica. You registered a company. You went to this trade show, and one of your first customers was
Barbara Gluda.
the late Barbara
Yes,
Luden, who was an encourager to you, and we celebrate her memory. A woman who has impacted this nation so significantly, who wore your jewelry. Anybody else? Of
Yeah, a number of other persons have worn my jewelry. We have like people like Marcia Forbes, one of my. I don't want to start calling names.
Yes.
So let us just jump to that one big person.
Yes, that one big person. So you
Right.
had a call this day.
Yes.
And the area code said Washington.
Yes. So
Uh,
I got a call one evening, and these days when I get a phone call, the name of the country will come up on the phone.
yes.
So it came up and it said Washington D.C. So I said, Washington D.C. Me not have nobody America call me. Me not expect no foreign call. So
I do not have anybody in America calling me. I'm not expecting a foreign call if you don't
right.
understand our patois.
All right, there and then I started thinking, this must be a scam, because of course you know what is happening in Jamaica right
Yes.
now and the world at large. So I immediately, got my antennas up, listening out for what kind of scam is coming next. I showed my husband the phone and he said to me, say, if it's a scam call, then you quickly hang up, because you will be able to tell soon after. Answer the call. Lady answered. She didn't sound Jamaican and she didn't sound American. It sounded like some Eastern Caribbean accent. And she started saying to me if I know that the Duchess was coming.
To
First,
Jamaica.
she said that she was calling from the British High Commission. That again is a red flag for me, because I am not expecting any call from British High Commission. And why would British High Commission be calling me? And she proceeded to say that, if I know that the Duchess and her husband is coming, and they were looking for gifts and they were going through a catalog, Christmas in July catalog. So that's when I became relaxed, because I know that the pieces were
Advertising that catalog.
advertised in the catalog, and I know that I participated in Christmas in July last year. So, I started listening now and, to hear where this was going. And she started to say that, these are the pieces that we like. Um, Nothing might come of it, so don't get too excited. Nothing might come of it. Don't tell anybody about it, because for security reasons, And then she asked how soon she could get it. I told her she could get it tomorrow. And the following day, they sent someone to pick up the package. Matter of fact, they told me that they needed it prepared for a flight. So it was prepared for a flight. And a few weeks later, the Duchess came off a plane wearing one of my bracelets.
And we want to show that picture right now of the Duchess stepping off the plane with your bracelet shining. All right. How did that make you feel?
I'm going to tell you the truth. immediately it was nervousness because I'm like, she's coming off the plane in my bracelet because by this time it's actually people on Instagram started contacting me. So before excitement setting, it was more nerves
Yes.
because persons were now contacting me. How can I get the bracelet as seen on the Duchess of Cambridge? And I was like, but me never tell nobody say the Duchess get the bracelet, so all people are contact me. And then I started going, people started sending me the photos, and I'm like, oh, she's here. Because I was actually in a class
Yes.
the evening when the pictures
Sure, right.
started
Yeah.
rolling in, yes.
All right. So how did that impact your business?
All right, so that was day one of her wearing one bracelet.
Yes.
This,
Oh, she wore more than one?
yes.
Tell us, tell us, tell us.
So this is where the headache start because the first day that bracelet was a simple bend
Okay.
to form the bracelet. Day two now, she wore a pearl bracelet. I used the last of the material to make that bracelet for her.
Yes.
So by this time, persons were now saying, I want that pearl bracelet that the Duchess is wearing. And I'm like, what am I going to do now? Because I don't have the material to make this bracelet. I was not prepared. I was not thinking about the possibility of her wearing the bracelet, so I did not gather the material. So I had to do something quick, get somebody to gather everything for me and send them to Jamaica. And that's how I was able to supply customers from Italy, from UK, Australia, Canada,
South Africa.
US. We got contact from South Africa. Don't remember
Delivering.
delivering
Yeah.
any
But
personally.
quite an international
Yes.
um,
Czech Republic.
clientele.
Yes.
And we say, congratulations. So proud of you.
Thank you.
And we want to wish you all the best with your business. Here is a young woman who has been through depression. Here's a young woman who was suicidal at one stage. She decided that she was going to go into therapy. And now she is businesswoman gone large. We celebrate. Now, talk to us a little bit about your encounter with Choose Life International. How was that for you as you
Well,
were in therapy there?
so when you're going into therapy, you have to, prepare your mind to open up,
Yes.
and that's never easy for anybody.
Yeah.
And I have tried it before, Choose Life International. Um,
You tried it elsewhere before?
yes, I was actually studying at UWI when lecturers realized that something was wrong and they made the appointment and I started going, but didn't work out.
At the
So
same location? At Choose Life, you said
no,
that?
man,
Okay.
no, not Choose Life. It was
Okay.
same place up by UWI.
Okay.
Right. So coming to Choose Life International now, I felt some amount of ease and comfort and at liberty to open up and really talk. And there were there were issues within like family issues that needed to be resolved, and we were able to fix those because some of those things were also adding to the depression, and we were able to fix those with ease. So coming to Choose Life International, you're at ease to open up and talk and be assured. I get homework. I don't like homework, but I get the homework and I went home each week and I would do the assignments and look forward to the next session.
Wow. Didn't want to go counseling, but now confessing that she looked forward to the next
Yes.
session, even with the homework. Homework aimed at helping to process what she was going through. And she, I believe, is a happier woman today for having had the experience of being a counselee with Choose Life International. She has a heart to help people live. Thank you for the support. You may be out there and you're dealing with some issues right now. We want to ask you to reach out to Choose Life International, 876 869 3403. Send us a WhatsApp or just use the email on the screen or the other telephone number on the screen to get the help you need. We care about you. The World Suicide Prevention Day online seminar is coming up on September 9th. It is aimed at empowering guidance counselors, pastors, HR managers, police officers, soldiers, parents, and even those who are at risk to suicide. Get the help you need. Register today. I want to let you know that there is an incentive for groups. For every group of 10, there's a 10% discount. Choose Life International is concerned about you, your family, your co-workers, your country. And we want to help you to help them. Do you wish you were able to have averted a suicide? Do you wish you were able to help that young man, that young woman that you know that is going through difficulties and challenges? We want to help to empower you to help people to choose life. September 10th, go to our website, www.chooselifeintl.org. Ask for our flyer, and we will be delighted to send it to you so that you can help to get the word out. We ask you to join us for an amazing webinar from 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Doctors, nurses, counselors, and other professionals get credit for continuing education. Benefit from this event. You give our lives meaning.
Yeah.
When we're able to help somebody like you to choose life, we are energized. You may be having difficulties. Let's take a moment and pray. Lord, I ask for strength for somebody today to take the initiative to get the help they need. I pray that you'll pour into their lives and give them the strength. Continue to bless Choose Life International. Continue to bless Lashawndla and Inspire 365. Continue to thrust them forth across the world and increase their business. Watch over them as only you can. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. with rebroadcast on Saturdays at 6 p.m. It is Geared to Live. We encourage you to invite people to watch the show. You may also watch it on mercyandtruth.tv. See you next week. Same place, same time. Shalom.